Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 9 at Belmont Park on Saturday is the $100,000 Wild Applause Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going a mile on the Widener turf. Part of a nice card at Belmont on Saturday, and you can get involved with a DRF Bets account. Sign up at drf.com/bet and learn how to get $150 in risk-free bets. Let's meet the field of 3-year-old fillies getting set to step 8 furlongs on the Widener turf. In the Wild Applause Stakes, we are expecting the number 2 Wings of Dawn to scratch and await the Grade 1 Mother Goose on dirt next week. That would leave us with a field of 5, and Mike, Chad Brown has 3 of them.
Yeah, shocking. A stakes race on turf in New York. I guess a stakes race on turf anywhere these days, but especially in New York. You know, he's got 60% of the field. Hard to believe.
And he's got the 3 morning line no, he's got 2 of the 3 morning line favorites, beginning with the 6, Blowout, who last time out in the memories of Silver Stakes was the beaten favorite. It looked like that Javier had him settled in a good spot. The horse was pulling a little bit, and it just looked like he clipped heels. And the horse in front of him was just really a weird situation where it looked like there was plenty of room for Javi to rake back, and he ended up stumbling over the horse's heels. He still came with a good, solid run. Only got beat ahead. You could argue he was best in that race. I'm not sure if he was or not, because I think that Field Glorious also ran very well. But Blowout has some tactical speed. It's Chad. I have a feeling everyone saw that stumble, and they're betting him because of it.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably true. I feel like people might look at the race that way and to say, listen, she had trouble in the race. The horse that beat her was on the outside the entire way in the clear. And ran her down at the end. And not only did this horse clip heels, it looked like she clipped heels anyway on the backstretch and stumble. She also then couldn't get out to the clear in the stretch. She had to split horses late. I, personally think it's worth pointing out that even with all that, she did have the lead in the stretch. And then she got outfinished by Field Glorious. She still ran well. She also ran well 2 starts back when she was just sort of bottled up a little bit in the Florida Oaks and then couldn't get to Concrete Rose, a very good horse. There's a lot to like about her, Dan. I do feel like she'll run better in this race. I do feel like she could take a step forward in here. And in a lot of ways, she just might be the horse to beat.
Perhaps the horse with the most upside, however, is number 4. That's Nova Soul, who was Group 3 placed in France as a 2-year-old, has made only 1 start at 3 for Chad. That came in the Hilltop Stakes. She was bet down to favoritism that day, and she kind of lost her chance early in the race when she ended up so far back.
Yeah, it was weird to see her that far back, too, in the race. And it almost just felt like Irad took her back in that race. She broke from the rail. He just took her back to last. I feel like she made a pretty nice run into that race, actually. Came wider on the second turn, passed a bunch of horses, and then just couldn't get to her stablemate Dog Tag on the lead. I thought all in all, just as a starting off point for a 3-year-old campaign, thought she ran really well in there. Her 2-year-old form looks good to me. Another horse that feels like she's going to take a step forward in here.
The 3rd place finisher from that race came back to explode on dirt, winning a stakes race at Delaware with a 96 Beyer speed figure. Timeform US's pace projector favors the number 1, Seek and Destroy, the 3rd Chad Brown entrant that we'll discuss. And Seek and Destroy has won in wire-to-wire fashion twice in the past. It was nice to see her versatility in the first start of the season. There was a lot of pace in front of her. She ended up outside. A couple of horses got bottled in. Not Seek and Destroy. A lot of folks are going to argue last time was the time at 10-1, Mike. But if this pace projector plays out, maybe she can take a wire to window.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does in here, because off the she only ran once on turf as a 2-year-old. It wasn't her best performance. It just felt like maybe she wasn't a finished product at that time. Her next 2 starts after that, she got rained off in the first of those and wired a field. And the Chelsea Flowers, she was actually entered main track only and wired that field as well. But it did feel like she was going to be a turf horse down the line. That's what she's bred for. She came back off the layoff on the grass, and she took a big step forward in there. Yes, things went her way in that race, but she really did improve in that race. She made a really nice appearance in the paddock. It looked like she was ready to jump forward, and she did. I wouldn't knock this horse too hard, even if she is the biggest price of Chad's 3.
Kendrick Carmouche can be very aggressive out of the gate, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes the bull by the horns and sends Seek and Destroy and proves this Timeform US pace projector correct after the opening half mile. The number 3 is Pep, going out for trainer Todd Pletcher. This horse was part of the pace last time out, and now winners of 1 other than. I thought it was an okay, even performance behind a decent one in Cafe Americano. She's going to have to do better.
She's going to have to improve. This is a tough spot for her. Especially when there's only 4 other horses in here. So, how big a price could she be? I would just say this about her. I think it's going to be hard for her to win, Dan. I love her cutting back from the mile and 1/8. I think the mile and 1/8 that they went last time is too far for her. And based on her first 3 races, she was really finding herself. She was a horse that when you watch her races, she didn't have the game figured out yet. She was very green, but she was coming along nicely. There are things to like about her. This is just a really tough spot.
Let's take a look at our top selections for this year's Wild Applause Stakes. Mike, you believe in Christophe Clement's number 5, Feel Glorious.
Yeah.
Sure looked good in her first 2 starts in North America, beating Blowout in that Memories of Silver after coming real wide off a lack of pace. There was not a lot of speed going on that day. Came about 4 wide turning into the stretch, got it done over Blowout. And last time out in the Soaring Softly, while the winner had the outside flow, this horse kind of had to wait.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't work out for her last time. I mean, I loved her first 2 starts over. Her win at Gulfstream, I thought, was really impressive. And even though Blowout had the trouble in the Memories of Silver, it's not like this horse had some great setup to come last. The first 2, they were not going fast in front of her. She came wide. I thought she was best that day. You know, what can I say about her last race, Dan? Eric Cancel, for whatever reason, I don't know why he committed himself to the rail in that race, because he didn't have to, but he committed himself to the rail, and it blew up in his face. She could not get through. I would recommend, if you just go back and watch the replay, to watch the head-on replay of that race, because she could not get through on the rail until it was way too late, and she actually ran well to be second in there. This rider change is a big one. I think Joel Rosario can get this horse the right trip, and if she gets the right trip, she can beat all 3 of Chad's horses.
That's just what I was going to ask you. Do you think Joel can get her closer? Because she is stretching out a furlong, and I don't think she's like this one-run massive closer. I think that if Joel wants to get her into the race, she can stay close to Chad's pace setter, my top selection in the race.
Yeah, I feel like she can get any kind of trip in the race. I mean, I don't think you're going to see her up on the lead in here, but Rosario doesn't have to take her back to last, that's for sure.
I'm hoping that the pace projector is right. I'm hoping that Seek and Destroy turned the corner over the winter and is a bigger, stronger version as a 3-year-old and is ready to reach her potential. I think if she gets loose on the lead, she's going to be tough, and she's the best price of all 3 Chads on David Aragona's morning line. I'm going 1, 5, 4, and 6. Mike, give me numbers.
I went 5, 6, 4 in here, but I have no argument with the horse that you picked on top 10. She's probably the best price.
Wild Applause is the feature race at Belmont on Saturday. Get involved with the card with a DRF Bets account. Sign up, get $150 in risk-free bets. Learn all the terms and conditions. DRF.com/bet. DRF Bets. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the Wild Applause, 5:51 Eastern. Good luck.